welcome to this month's BakeBox tutorial. Now in your box you will have found your pecans. The first thing that you need to do is pop them in a non-stick tray, or you can line the tray with parchment paper. We're just going to pop these in the oven to give them a quick toast for around 6 to 7 minutes, and then we're going to cool them down for later. Okay, so the next step is to empty your flour packet out into a bowl. We're going to add our tablespoon of salt to that. And I'm just going to give them a little mix together with a fork, just so they're roughly combined. And then you want to start making a bit of a well in the middle. Okay, so just like a little hole in the middle there. And then you want to take your yeast packet, just open it up and empty it straight into the middle of your well. Once that's ready, you just want to pop that to the side. And you want to grab a pan. So I've put my part A butter in here, and the next thing that I'm going to do is take my milk and just pop that in the pan as well. Now we're going to put this on the hob. You don't want to boil your milk, you just want to get it kind of lukewarm so your butter's melted, and that's going to be just enough to activate the yeast. While we're warming our milk, we're just going to crack our egg. Now I always crack these separately just in case they're rotten. So we've got that ready as well. So I'll pop this to the side and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, our milk is ready to go, so it's time to bring our bowl back in with our flour. I'm also going to grab the egg, which we have cracked into a separate jug. And all I'm going to do is pour the milk mixture directly onto the yeast, right into that middle well. And I'm going to pop the egg in there too. And all we're going to do is just start stirring. Now it will seem like a little bit of a gloopy mess to start with, but don't worry. You just want to start combining all of these ingredients. So once you feel you've done as much as you can with a spoon, just want to scrape off as much as you can of the mixture. And this is the messy bit where you just want to get your hands in there, just for that final combination of ingredients. So when your bowl is mostly clean, it's time to get to kneading. So we're just going to pop this to the side for a second. You want to clear down your workbench and dust it with your flour. So once you flour down your surface, you want to turn your dough out, and you just want to start a simple knead. So the best thing to do is to stretch it out, pull it in, stretch it out, pull it in. You can do it two-handed or one-handed, it's up to you. But you just want to keep it moving, and that's just going to support the gluten strands building in your dough. The more gluten strands you have, the better it's going to turn out. So you just want to do this for around 5 minutes until you've got a lovely smooth dough with a really lovely stretch on it. With your dough, I'm sure you can see it's really lovely now, very stretchy and very smooth, no longer sticky. It's time to let it prove. So what you want to do is grab a bowl. You want it to be a nice big size, so I've gone with this one. And you just want to add a little bit of oil in there. Make sure to run it all the way around the bowl. And then you just want to pop your dough straight inside. And we're just going to cover it with a damp tea towel. And you want to leave it for around an hour to give it time to double in size. And you want to pop it somewhere warm. I normally recommend airing cupboards if you have them. But the kitchen in here today is very warm, so I'm just going to leave it in here and let it rest. Okay, so while our dough is proving, we can prepare our filling. So you need to bring back your toasted pecans. They should be cool to touch now after being in the oven. So we're just going to give these a quick chop. So I've got a bowl ready, and all I'm going to do is take my pecans. I do want these fairly fine, so you can always use a food processor for this if you want to, but because they have been toasted, they should be quite easy just to chop up. Once your nuts are ready, it's time to add our other ingredients for our filling. So we've got our tablespoon of cinnamon, a tablespoon of corn flour, your dark brown sugar. So once you've added all your ingredients to your bowl, you just want to give them a rough mix. Okay, so once you're happy they're all nicely combined, it is going to look quite lumpy and bumpy, don't worry about that. Once you're happy, you just want to pop that to the side and we'll just wait for our dough to be ready. Okay, so it's been an hour and it's time to reveal our dough. So as you can see, it has massively doubled in size, so it's time to add our filling. So all I'm going to do is bring a cutting mat back and roll the dough out. As you can see, with the oil it comes out really nice and smoothly. And all we're going to do is take a rolling pin and we're just going to start rolling it out. Now once you've rolled it, you want it around 40 centimetres long by about 20, but don't worry, it doesn't have to be precise. You do want to make sure that your edges are around the same length though. Try to avoid any curved edges, just so you can get a really nice full roll. So once you're happy, you need your butter part B, which you need to be very soft. So all I did was put mine in a bowl and I microwaved it for about 15 seconds, so it was still quite solid and not completely melted, and then just give it a good old stir around. So it is very soft, but it's not completely melted. And all we're going to do is use this butter to spread across our dough. Once you're happy that that's fully covered, it's time to bring back your pecan mix. And all we're going to do is just sprinkle it all the way inside our dough. Then all I'm going to do is just gently press it in. And now this is the tricky bit. So once you're happy that you've pushed it in, it's not going to obviously all be stuck, but you want to carefully roll up one side of your dough. Try and keep it tight, and you just want to roll it all the way to the other end. So once you're happy and you've rolled your dough, it's time to slice. So I'm going to just cut the ends off so we get a really nice tidy roll. Now we should be able to get between 9 and 10 rolls out of this. So you just want to try and be as accurate as possible to get them roughly the same size. So once you've cut them, you just want to bring a tray forward, and I'm just going to quickly run a little bit of butter along the bottom of the tray. There we go, and then you just want to take your pieces, being careful they don't fall apart, and place them cut side up into your tray. So I've put them nice and closely together. They don't have to be touching the edge of the tin. And I'm just going to leave them now for around half an hour to get that final proof, and then we're going to pop them in the oven. Okay, so our buns have had their second proof. As you can see, they are a lot bigger now. So all I'm going to do is take my sugar and cinnamon mix, which you will have in a pot in your box, and I'm just going to sprinkle it over the top of each of our buns. So there we go. Once you've popped your sugar and cinnamon topping on, it's time for these to go in the oven. They will go in for around 20 to 25 minutes, but you just want to check them around the halfway mark, just to make sure that they're not burning. If they do seem to be gaining quite a lot of colour, you just want to cover them with a bit of foil until the time is up. Okay, so our buns are fresh out of the oven, they are extremely hot. And the last step is just to pour a little bit of maple syrup over them. I'm just going to let these sit for a couple of minutes, get a little bit of a cool down, and then all you have to do is turn them out and they are ready to go.